as soon as you go live. Um, Episode 102? 102, Your Mother Ate My Dog, the podcast. Welcome back, Jesse. It's been a while.
Welcome back, Mr. President. How are you?
Uh, Good. How are you? How have the last 2 weeks been?
Uh, they've been pretty good, Nothing much to complain about. The weather's been sort of up and down. It's been quite hot lately. Just sort of out here living, as they say. Or as the Costco kid says, boom!
I'll put my mic also close to my face.
Okay, great.
Do you drink much juice? You a juice guy?
Not a juice guy. Nope.
Hmm.
Barely drink juice at all.
Would you consider lemonade a juice?
No, clearly not.
Hmm. I would say lemonade's my favorite juice.
It's not juice, though.
What would it be? A flavored water?
A lemony beverage. But certainly not a juice. That's just madness, truly.
Uh, you watch any movies recently?
No, I haven't watched a movie since I watched Silent Hill, the
Did you watch?
2006 film starring Sean Bean.
Okay. Did you watch that today though?
No, no, I watched that almost 2 weeks ago now. Or,
A week ago.
yeah, whatever.
So I gave you the heads up at like 3 o'clock, and you had already watched the movie.
Yes, I had. I actually had watched it on the weekend because I
Oh,
was finding that my Wednesdays were becoming a little busy in terms of like work all day, get home, have to watch an entire movie, and then have to do the podcast.
so you had a nice week off. Today was
Basically,
straight flying for you.
yeah. Today today's a Thursday for those listening on on Spotify or what have you.
That's a good point.
And usually, oh well, this is kind of directly to you, Josh. Is that I want to go back to Wednesdays. I'm pretty sure I said that, but anyway, this was a one-off thing because it was Mackenzie's brother's birthday yesterday. But today was like work all day, then go paddling, and then I got home, half an hour ago. Had to take a very quick shower and then hop on the podcast. So also not ideal.
I'll get to the shower in a bit, but yeah, we have to do Wednesday next week because I'm unavailable Thursday to next Friday. I'm in a different province.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm gonna bring my laptop, but I'm probably not gonna bring. Well, I could bring my microphone, but no, I won't.
No. So we got next week's episode and then a little bit of a break, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you get a week off
Okay.
at least. I don't know what your plans are.
Uh, yeah, no major plans. So I think a week off is what it'll be.
Okay, I watched many movies in the past 10 days.
Many movies. Okay. Well, what are they?
So not this past weekend, the one we just had, but the weekend before.
Mm-hmm.
It was a John Cena weekend. So we watched both movies that came out this year that had John Cena in it. Ricky Stenicki, Zac Efron.
Okay.
Zac Efron, other people, John Cena. John Cena played Ricky Stenicki.
Okay.
Give that a 6 out of 10.
A comedy, I have to assume.
Yeah, it was a comedy. And
Okay.
then he was in a movie that just came out called Jackpot with
Okay.
Aquafina.
Hmm. Not
It
good.
was an it was an interesting concept for a film based in the future. Somebody wins the lottery and everybody finds out who that person is, and then they have 12 hours to kill them. Whoever kills them gets the money.
That's a 5 out of 10.
It wasn't as good. No, John Cena played the same character. He's a one note kind of guy,
Right.
but I don't hate him.
Okay.
Don't mind a good Cena flick.
Right.
This weekend, um, we watched the M Night Shyamalan film Trap,
Mm-hmm.
the least M Night film you'll ever watch.
Okay.
It was good film, but it wasn't an M Night in any
I
sense
was
of the word.
I was wondering about that one.
There's no weird ending.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. It wasn't a waste of time. Solid
Okay.
hour and a half film. Then I watched Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yep.
I have to say it's probably the last Deadpool movie though. Kind of ended on a final note. It's done.
Well, it also did just make like over $1 billion. So my guess is they probably would want to make another one.
But what other stories do they have to tell?
There's lots of untold stories from the Deadpool comics.
Okay, great. I don't know if it was my favorite Deadpool movie, but it was not bad. Didn't hate it.
I am going to go see that movie for the second time in theaters tomorrow.
Okay.
Greg, former listener of the podcast, he was saying he was going to go see it at the IMAX theater, like the one that's connected to the museum. Yeah, I've only ever seen one other film at that theater, and it was kind of cool. So I figured, I'll watch it again. Why not? So Mackenzie, myself, and Greg are going to go see Deadpool for a second time at the IMAX.
But has Greg seen it a time?
No, he hasn't seen it yet.
It'd be good in the IMAX. There's a lot of fight scenes.
Yeah, action film. I don't see why not.
We also watched a bad horror movie. I can't remember the name of. A 2000. Well, actually, it wasn't that bad. 2015 Intruders, kind of a low budget film. All right.
Intruders.
A lot of movies. Yeah.
I feel like horror movies like out of all genres, there tend to be more bad horror movies than other, say, bad comedies.
Well, the jokes have to land. The plot for Intruders was a woman. Her brother just died. Cancer. They were living together. She has the house and a bunch of money now. And then her friend, not her friend, but her food delivery guy. She has agoraphobia. She can't go outside, fear of the outdoors.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets all her food delivered. Rory Culkin, Macaulay's youngest brother, plays the food delivery guy. He kind of tips his bad friends that, oh, this woman has a bunch of money and is alone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe go steal some money when she's at the funeral. She's not at the funeral because she can't go outside. So turns out she's a psychopath with a thirst for blood.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
You've been busy with the movies.
So you told me a few minutes ago you had a shower today.
Yeah.
I also showered in the last half an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because I work outside and it was hot and sweaty.
Yep.
So when I'm in the shower, I like to listen to either a podcast or a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Or not a movie, sorry, music.
Okay.
It's a movie podcast. I listen to music in the shower.
Okay.
Spotify, which will be on soon,
Mm-hmm.
has a feature. I don't know if you have Spotify, but it's like an AI DJ thing. So basically, you just hit the DJ button, and it just spits out like your favorite music, and then it gives you some new stuff that's similar. So I put that on, and I was listening to, I don't know, two normal songs, and then
Mm.
Bare Naked Ladies. 1 week came on,
Chickadee
and
China, the Chinese chicken.
yeah, and I'm gonna read you this a spoiler for next week. It changed my whole thought process for the movie for next week.
Okay.
Um, so getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I didn't want to forget. So as you said, Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick and your brain stops ticking. Watching X Files with the lights on. We're Don LeMaison. I hope the smoking man's in this one. Like Harrison Ford, I'm getting frantic. Like Sting, I'm tantric. Like Snickers, guaranteed to satisfy. Like Kurosawa, I make mad films. Okay, I don't make films, but if I did, they'd have a samurai. We already watched the Kurosawa samurai film, so we're doing Frantic next week.
Frantic. So that has Harrison Ford in it, does it?
Yeah, it's a 1988. It's a commercial failure, but it's turned into a cult classic apparently.
Hmm.
Don't know what it's
Okay.
about. I should
I
actually
haven't
look.
even heard of it. I have heard. I mean, I have heard that line from the song, but I didn't realize that like when he said like Harrison Ford, I'm frantic.
The
Or
movie.
I didn't realize that was a movie. I thought.
It's a American French neo noir mystery thriller film. It's directed by Roman Polanski. That's the only
Oh.
thing. Um,
Famous not good guy.
yeah, but a okay. Well, the last thing I'll say about it is remember that the French movie we watched, Delicatessen.
Yeah.
The main guy is in it,
Ooh. Okay. What do we mean the main guy? Like the
like the
butcher
clown.
guy?
No,
The
the
clown.
clown.
Okay. He's a very
Anyways,
unique looking fella.
yeah. Silent Hill, 2006. 2 weeks ago, last podcast we watched Hitman, which is based off of a franchise of video games. Silent
Mhm.
Hill, based off a franchise of video games. I watched and played Hitman. I have not. I watched, but I have not played Silent Hill, which I think will affect how I look at it.
Right. That's fair. You think I remember you saying that you gave some bonus points to Hitman because it was a game that you had played and it sort of at least to an extent rang pretty true to the games.
I have, yeah, true to the games because there's some stuff sprinkled in, some Easter eggs sprinkled in, plus the nostalgia factor for me. I don't have that with Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. It's definitely well, maybe it's not okay. It
Oh,
depends.
okay.
I mean, I mean, I'll allow it, obviously, but I guess it is. I think it does very heavily rely on you being a Silent Hill fan. I don't know how good it is as a standalone film, but I'm not really a Silent Hill fan either, I guess. But I can appreciate the series. I've seen some gameplay. I know a bit
We're
about
live.
it. Hey, look, that's us.
Yeah. There were some great things and some
Mm-hmm.
not so great things. Um,
Right.
like the enemies. Like it was most like I don't think there's very much CGI at all in this film. It was all like just dancers in attire,
Mm-hmm.
some dude in a pyramid head,
Mm-hmm.
but they looked fantastic for a 2006 film.
Yes, they did.
Very gory.
Was very gore. There's a scene where a lady gets her clothes ripped off. Boom,
And her
gone.
skin.
And
Yeah.
then her skin ripped off. Boom, gone. So that was fun. I watched this movie with all the lights off because I like to do that for like scary movies. Wasn't really a scary movie. I didn't really get scared at any point.
No, no.
I think the first video game is supposed to be a fairly like scary game, but this one didn't really come off as scary. Just kind of more like odd.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, and the
Plot was
yeah, the
sorry.
plot. I don't know. I kind of like the story. I did like the story, but the plot was like a little. I remember specifically thinking like the plot is progressing like a video games would. Like the characters aren't doing what a person would do in a normal situation, but they're really just kind of like making it so the story kind of goes along. Especially when um, the mother. I usually have the actors up. I don't have them up right now. Rose loses her
Mhm.
daughter, Heather. Or no, not Heather. What's the daughter's name?
We obviously know.
Oh, it is Heather, isn't it? But it's
Um,
also something else.
yeah, it's like Alessa and
Yeah, that's it.
Sharon.
Sharon.
Her name is Sharon. Yeah,
Sharon.
which
That's
is a
it.
weird
Yes,
name
it
for a
is.
child.
It is. But like as soon as Sharon goes missing in that town where clearly no one's around and there's ash falling from the sky and Rose just kind of is like, "Oh yeah." And she just doesn't really seem that worried about it. It's like, "Oh, I need to find my daughter." And she just starts kind of running around this clearly abandoned city where creepy shit's going on. She doesn't really seem that phased, which I guess
Well,
would
to
happen
be
in a video
fair,
game.
to be
What?
like to be fair, she was in a car accident.
That's true. So
Maybe
she
she
was
hit her
perhaps
head.
a little rattled, not thinking straight.
I did also think that this was kind of just like a video game, just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I don't know the whole like cop following as well,
Yeah,
and then just dying.
yeah. But I also like at first, especially, I thought all the characters were like really overacting, and I was kind of like distracted by it. But then, and then again, I kind of came back to like this is trying to be like the video game, and that's kind of what the characters in video games do. They kind of overact, and I was like, this makes sense. And then it stopped bothering me as much.
It's a movie.
It's a movie. And I was also thinking about to compare this to the Hitman movie we watched. I just don't think Hitman is an interesting enough game to make a compelling movie out of. Like it's just not original enough. It's just like about a guy. It's about a hitman. There's plenty of movies about that. But I mean, how many movies have the plot of Silent Hill?
Yeah,
Not none that I can think of. So it
it's a
was
unique. It's unique for sure.
yeah, very very unique.
Very unique.
I thought so.
Isn't that a oxymoron? Can you just be
Mm,
unique?
you can be
Not
very
an,
unique.
not an oxymoron, but
I know what you
it's
mean. It's like a superlative,
it's unneeded, an unneeded word.
right?
Does sorry.
Superfluous is what I'm. Superfluous. That's the word I was looking for. Yes.
Welcome to
Anyway,
our live show.
welcome. Yes, it's live, people. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Can't swear.
You can't
Twitch.
swear. Oh, whoops. But yeah, I like you were saying too. I thought the creatures, the bad guys, were all very interesting. I was talking to somebody who I watch stream, kind of like a smaller streamer, but I know that he really likes the Silent Hill series, and I was asking him what he thought about the movie, and also like how well it adhered to like the lore and like what actually happens in the first game. And apparently, there's a couple things from the second game that are in this movie that he kind of just added
Pyramid.
in.
The
Yeah, like
pyramid head
Pyramid
guy.
Head and some of the music. But other than that, it was like pretty close to accurate. and he was saying
Okay.
he liked the film. Um, one thing he did say he liked, which I also really liked, was the music. I thought the music was cool.
Yeah. The whole Sean Bean subplot, I could have used without, or gone without. It just what,
Yeah,
and then it just like it didn't really pay off at at all.
yeah,
Just
and,
at the end, it was like, oh, I'm on the couch. Are you here too? The door's open. That's so weird.
yeah. I
Useless. He
did.
was useless. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, I did think it was definitely a weaker part of the plot, and seemed like a little unnecessary. I was actually another thing that the guy I asked said was that I think he in the game he is more responsible for his daughter and wife going missing,
Hmm.
whereas in this that's not really the case. And I mean, and in the games, as far as I know, you play as the father.
Yeah, you're a
So
dude for sure.
yeah, so that's different as well. Um, so yeah, I don't think that was translated super well into the movie because yeah, like almost everything that he did seemed kind of pointless and was definitely the less interesting like part of the movie.
Just writing in the chat. What was your favorite part of Silent Hill? Question
Who
mark.
you talking to?
I'm just writing in the chat,
Oh, I see.
just in case
We're
somebody
engaging
comes.
with the live audience. If you're listening to this on Spotify and you want to engage with us while we're recording, follow us on Twitch, or you can
Or
follow us
Instagram.
on YouTube. I think we go live on YouTube as well.
Yeah, or
So,
Instagram. I did so last week before I canceled on you. I did send out like a thing being like, "Oh, we're going live tonight," and then I don't know if you saw this, but I got a message being like, "This is the first thing I've ever seen from you."
right.
I'm like, "Oh, that's terrible." We've done 101 of these and posted about every single one of them. So
Maybe I guess more stories
yeah,
that seem
more
to help.
stories.
Yes. Um, yeah. What
The
else was I
nurses
going to
were
say?
cool.
What were cool?
The nurses were cool,
Yes. Yes.
not just because they were sexy nurses, but
Right.
apparently, according to the internet, the strange stumbling movements of the dark nurses when they first come alive was created by filming them walking backwards
Hmm.
and then running the film in reverse.
Hmm.
But they were blind and dumb, so they just killed each other.
Right. That was a cool scene. There was a lot of cool scenes, I think,
Name another one.
where Rose and the cop are like stuck in that room, and Pyramid Head is trying to get them with his big sword,
Right?
and um, the church scene where the cop like gets burned alive, basically.
I guess we have to talk about that church scene.
Yeah,
Like the climax of the film, barbed wire all over the place.
yeah,
I forgot about that, which it's not a good thing.
I
Goes
guess
up and
so.
then rips apart, and then the girl comes out of hell,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like, I'm here.
It's pretty intense.
Reading, I read after the movie about the movie, and apparently the dark Alessia, she's supposed to go inside the little girl, like merge with little girl,
Mm-hmm.
which is what, and then they're allowed to drive off. Also, how do they drive off? Because they tried to leave, but they were like you couldn't leave at the beginning.
Yeah,
But then they were just, oh, everything's fine now. We'll just get in our car and go home.
I assumed it had something to do with the devil character or whatever. Like, let them do that now,
Guess that makes sense.
something like that. I don't know. There was a few moments where I just kind of like, I'm just kind of gonna go with it. I
Okay.
feel like I am trying to think if, I mean, I'll put this out here. I liked this better than Hitman, but I don't know if I'm just trying to convince myself I did, or if it truly was better than Hitman. I think it definitely was, but
You gave Hitman a 2, so
yes, the score I have in mind for this movie is much higher than a 2. That's
at
for sure.
least double.
Yes, at least. I don't know. I just liked it. I just thought it was a better movie than Hitman. Way more interesting. The characters, while definitely like overacted, perhaps on purpose, I thought they were just more interesting. The effects were cooler. I mean, I thought it just had a lot more going for it.
I wrote, what was your favorite of Silent Hill? I didn't even.
Well, they were listening. Favorite part. It's fine. Typing's hard.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Well, no, nothing. Yeah. Yeah, it was a better movie.
You agree?
My score will be higher, yep.
Okay.
But by how much?
Well, I guess that. What did you give Hitman? 4? 4? No, 4.5.
4.
Okay. Yeah, I would This is a movie I would recommend. It's I've never seen a movie like this. I just thought the plot was so. I liked the story. I liked the story quite a bit. It was a very interesting concept, and the way that it was shot was interesting, and it made me feel like, and definitely in some parts that I was like, this is definitely part of a video game.
Is there a
I,
second movie?
I think so. Yeah, for sure.
Silent Hill Revelation, 2012 supernatural horror film.
Yeah. I doubt it has Sean Bean in it, though. I'll tell you that.
The box office, it did really well.
Yeah.
Kit Harington's in it.
Oh, Jon Snow.
Sean Bean is in it.
Oh, there you go.
Carrie Ann Moss. The cast is much. Malcolm McDowell's in it.
Oh,
Um, the cast is pretty good.
okay.
I see the Rotten Tomato score.
I seem to remember the guy I was talking to said that the second movie sucks, but maybe I'm misremembering that.
The Silent Hill 2 video game is apparently the best of them.
Right, the video game I've heard is the best. Yeah.
Revelation. Should have watched this one. It's 8% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
But that
Yeah,
cast.
it's a talent
Sean
bomb.
Bean.
Sean Bean.
Well, okay, I'll go back on. It's useless. Like his whole thing is useless. It did kind of show the ending. I suppose was much stronger because of his whole story. Like,
Yep.
oh, our world, like it's over for them. They no longer exist in our world.
Mm-hmm.
We must go on. But then there's the
Mm-hmm.
whole like, I was in the town. I saved a little girl from the burning. Great.
Right.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're yawning, so let's get to.
I paddled
scores.
today and worked. I'm tired. Yes, I'm sorry.
How many hours do you work today?
How many hours though? 8.
You work 8 hours every day.
Yes.
It sucks. I'm angry. Like it's pretty rare that I work 8 hours, but I get mad when I do. last Wednesday, when I had to cancel, I worked 8 hours and had to cancel.
Yeah, see, I assumed that you were like, yeah, I'm going to be out here 10, 11 hours today.
Well, I start at 10, so my 8 hours is, and it was late. Well, I was at like 6:30, and then I had to come home, and I just didn't have the energy to do this. Today I was off at 5:30, so
That's a
okay.
whole less hour.
It's just been so busy. Back to school. I don't know why. People getting their socks. There was a. I delivered a package
And you
Monday.
opened it and saw it was socks?
No, but it had a message on it saying "Do not safe drop," which means I have to give it to a human being. I can't just leave it.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a note on their mailbox saying, "Please just leave the package. It's socks for school." So I'm like, the sign
So
says what
which
the
one
sign
did,
says.
okay, you went with the sign.
Yeah, because the only people who complain about that are the people who live at the house, and the sign says. Okay, so what did you think of acting? Acting.
The acting is a kind of a tough one, I think, to score on this one. I didn't love the acting, but I didn't like super hate it. It was different. I also liked. I did think the child actor was pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah, which is rare. I feel she wasn't like sometimes a child actor can really ruin a movie, which I don't think she did for this one. Um, Sean Bean. I
She's
mean, yeah,
she's
he's a
Canadian.
good. Oh, I
She's
just
from
wanted to.
Nanaimo.
Oh, even better. Um, yeah, Sean Bean I thought was good. I mean, he wasn't. I don't see a ton of Sean Bean, really. I guess, and the mother was good. Laurie Holden, the lady who's in The Walking Dead, but also in this
Mm,
movie who plays the cop.
yeah.
Hmm, not good. Yeah, yeah, not good for sure. Uh, what would I give the acting? I think maybe I'd be a little generous. I think I'd give it a 6.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another movie I watched this weekend for like the eighth time is The Cabin in the Woods.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that movie?
No, but people are like controlling it or something, right? It's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
it's like betting on what they do, and
yeah, yeah.
um, the little girl is in that movie. She plays a zombie
Oh,
with one arm, who ends up
okay,
killing the dad from Step Brothers. Yeah.
okay. And that's your score for acting?
No, I didn't like the
Oh,
main girl. Um, she wasn't. Also, I think that I'm just really hard on acting.
mm-hmm.
Um, she was Australian. She is still Australian. I just didn't like her as the main person. She
Okay.
didn't have a lot of emotion.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Um, yeah, it was, I don't know, a flat all around. So I'll give it a 4, 4 to 10. Very hard in acting.
Did you watch this with your partner?
She watched half of the movie. She came in halfway.
Okay.
She liked it. Very enthralled. Enthralled?
Enthralled?
Yeah, one of those. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I liked the ending though, for the most part. I didn't like the. I mean, it was kind of an easy ending, being like, "Let's go home," and you kind of knew what was going to happen when, like, obviously they're in the foggy world. Their home is not the same home as Sean Bean's home. But he's just sleeping on the couch in such a weird, uncomfortable way. I don't know if you remember that.
I
But
do.
it's like a rock hard couch. It's like head is on the the arm of it. It's like cold, so no blanket because he didn't know how to live without a woman in his life. And then he hears some wind. It's like, oh, they're home. But I did like the church scene.
Yeah.
I thought that's where all their budget went. I think
Hmm.
was ripping that woman apart. The barbed wire. Oof. So I'll give that a 7. 7 out of 10 for ending.
Okay. Yes, for me, the church scene is the beginning of the end of the film. Very good scene. Pretty gory and violent, and the people you want to die. So maybe the cop, but she was annoying, so she could die too. And yeah, I like that part. And the same,
Thanks.
I think I agree with you on the whole Sean Bean ending part as well. Perhaps a little odd. Maybe you saw it coming, but I don't know. It kind of made sense. I would also give the ending a 7.
Okay, what would you give the whole movie out of 10?
I liked the movie. It was an odd movie. I'd recommend it to somebody. I liked the goriness. I liked the story. I would give this movie a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay. The plot was okay. The acting was mediocre. Ending was great. It was a fine watch. Not a lot of complaints. I'm gonna give it a 5, but add a 0.5 to it. 5.5
Okay.
out of 10.
Also, the music was very good as well. You can't forget that.
Okay.
That's where the 0.5 came from.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good movie for us.
Good
We've
pick.
already told you what we're watching next week.
Frantic.
Frantic, because it was in the Bare Naked Ladies song. I listened to while I was in the shower. What do you do when you're in the shower? Just raw dog it.
I would say I raw dog a shower maybe 70% of the time. And then 30% of the time I put on either one of 3 playlists. Are you interested to know what those 3 playlists are?
You betcha.
One of them is the soundtrack to The Road to El Dorado.
Hmm.
One of them is a playlist of childhood theme songs from like shows I watched as a kid.
Hey
Just-
Arnold.
No, Hey Arnold wasn't on there. I did watch that show, but I only put the bangers. So like
Sticking around.
Sticking Around, George Shrinks, The Weekenders, Paddington
yeah.
Bear, Bear in the Big Blue House, Mighty Machines, Bill Nye the Science Guy, Timothy Goes to School, Little Bear, Rupert, Sagwa the Siamese Cat, Dudley the Dragon.
Wow.
Um,
Big comfy couch.
I do not have the Big Comfy Couch. It's not enough of a banger. Cat Dog, Mona the Vampire. Anyway, I digress. The third
Dave the
playlist,
Barbarian.
Barbarian. Yeah, that's on there as well. Third playlist is Christmas music that I like to listen to every once in a while, even if it's not Christmas, because I like Christmas music a lot.
Okay. Interesting. Frantic is not on YouTube, but it does have 77% on Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.8 out of 10 on IMDb. So
Okay. I
should be.
find a way to watch it.
We get it. Sorry.
That's okay. Cats be meowing. Am I right?
Yeah.
I got
let's just hold on
a
for a bit.
I got a big old list of movies that I can pick for the podcast.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just kind of wing it each week, but I got like 6 movies to pick from.
You should write them down.
I do have them written down.
I've written them down as well, but I keep bumping. So next week was supposed to be Ghost Ship, but I bumped it.
Ghost
I had a
Ship?
movie. Yeah, I had a movie on my list for so long. I just ended up getting rid of because it's like, well,
Well, which one?
it was called Blue Ruin. I'll read you. No, it's like an indie film. It's 2013. It's like a Kickstarter movie.
Ooh.
It was really good reviews. It's a revenge thriller film.
Mm-hmm.
It was funded through a successful Kickstarter campaign. But I don't know if like the trailer looked good, but I don't know if it was really a podcast movie.
Okay. There's one that I've been thinking about picking, but I forget the name of it. I have to look it up.
Ghost Ship is a movie that I watched when I was like 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
In like grade 6 at a friend's house, and it stayed with me for a long time because it was like one of the first movies that the first adult movies I've ever seen, I think.
Yeah.
And it's about a ghost ship.
Well, I figured.
Apparently, Carl
Ghost
Urban's in it.
Ship. Okay, see, this is a movie I definitely remember seeing like at the video rental place.
Mm.
It's got a
So that's
very
one.
oh, it's got that girl in it, Emily Browning.
That's one for the future. It's coming up at some point. But if I didn't listen to Bare Naked Ladies 1 week in the shower, it would have been next week. But
Ruben and Ed is the movie that I was gonna pick. I still might pick it. Crispin Glover movie.
okay.
Can you remember? Do you remember the other Crispin Glover movie we've seen on the podcast?
No. Is it like a Dracula movie?
Nope.
Is there vampires in it?
Nothing to do with vampires or Dracula or anything like that.
Oh, Crispin Glover.
Yes.
The dude from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Who's also in Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels. That's the one.
He's also in a movie called Willard about a rat.
Yes. He's been in some movies. It's a bit of a strange, odd fella.
Apparently not a bad film.
Yeah. Ruben and Ed is supposed to be pretty good too.
Ruben, like the sandwich.
Uh,
And Ed, like that movie with Matthew McConaughey. It's a 1991 independent buddy comedy film.
Yep.
Yeah, this is a Jesse movie for sure.
Yep. It is.
82 minutes long.
Yeah, that's part of the appeal.
Good luck finding anywhere to watch that.
Yeah, you'd have to get creative. That's my guess.
Well, it could be a movie that's on YouTube.
Yeah, I feel like indie movies tend to be.
Ruben and Ed, full movie. Yeah, it would appear that it's on YouTube.
There you go. For a future episode, it's probably not going to be my next pick, though.
Okay, good to know. My next film after Frantic is going to be one like we've never seen before.
Okay.
Have you ever watched a movie in one point of view for the whole movie?
Yes. And what do you mean?
As in, like the camera is somebody's eyes.
Oh,
It's like they put a camera on their head, and that's the whole
well,
movie.
close. Like Cloverfield.
Right. It's not. It's not like that. It might
Okay.
make you sick. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little, little egg, little worm to get you thinking.
Little egg to get me thinking.
Okay. Who's even in it? It's oh, never mind. I thought it was a fast bender. It's not a fast bender.
Okay.
Okay, well, you're yawning. We should wrap it up. So
Sure.
anybody out there, feel free to.
Yeah, if you're listening, we're about to wrap it up. You can go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and we'll answer them for you.
Or unless you want us to do a 24-hour stream, we'll do it.
We'll do it.
I'm
Once
on
we hit-
holidays.
Once we hit 10 followers.
I'm on holidays starting tomorrow afternoon, so I'll have plenty of time.
Yeah, you could run it solo, do a solo 24-hour stream. Well, the questions are flooding in here. We got a question from Johnny Plays Fortnite 21. How long do you intend on doing the podcast for? Well, I mean, currently, I would say indefinitely. I'm having fun with it still. Josh, you still having fun doing the podcast?
It's a Sasquatch in a canoe.
It's a Sasquatch in a canoe. Yes. Thank
Yeah,
you
we're
for
having-
that question.
having fun.
Cornish pasty lick my hasty. That's quite an interesting username. But yeah, I think indefinitely. So yes, thank you for the question. That's great. Is there any other questions we want to answer? No, not. Okay, come on, guys. You can't ask that.
Just letting you
Okay.
have your fun. Here, it says there's 2 people watching, but I don't believe you.
Yeah,
It's not
guys,
just us.
settle down, you guys. The chat's moving too quick. I can't see all your questions. Oh. How about okay? Let's answer this last question, and then we can wrap it up. This one is from being around the world. How much longer is left in this episode? Well, I would say probably about 20 seconds. I think we'll say our goodbyes, and that'll be the end of it. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening and watching, if that's you. And we just really appreciate all your support.
Thank you for reaching out in our time of need.
Yes, thank you.
Cat. In the same spot that he was last week.
He's
2 weeks
consistent.
ago. He just loves me so much.
Oh, it's that bed, I think.
He only gets to be in here once for like an hour every week. Just doors closed the whole other time.
Cats like newness.
Okay. Thank you so much. Episode 102, Silent Hill. Next week we're back with, it's not a video game movie, but it is a movie based off of a song. So that's exciting. Harrison
Yes.
Ford. Have we had a Harrison Ford yet?
No.
The new Willem Dafoe lasted 2 episodes. Keanu Reeves turned 60 years old this week.